here, and today I'm wearing kind of cyberpunk kind of sweater. I got it straight from Japan, which is really cool. You can see also how it looks like from behind. So, for today, is ChatGPT going to replace us? Is ChatGPT going to become the next Terminator, as we have seen in the sci-fi movie? Is it going to be hasta la vista and we will be blown out of our jobs? That is one question that a lot of developers and people in the development community are very intensively discussing, and as you heard recently in the EU, they have decided to um, abandon or ban ChatGPT over privacy concerns, while we know it's not really privacy concerns. I think it's more an issue related to um, actually the fear of AI taking over our jobs. Anyways, so I have had recently a very interesting conversation with ChatGPT. I, for me, as a person who studied a little bit about I am also teaching a course on natural language processing, which of course I wouldn't compare this to what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is way more advanced, way more sophisticated. But I would say, as someone who has a bit of basic knowledge about AI, artificial intelligence, well, first of all, we can't really call, like, you will hear a lot of people talk about, oh, it's AI, it's artificial intelligence, AI, but it's not really AI, it's actually more of VI. Now, what is a VI? VI is a virtual intelligence, but not artificial intelligence. So, as a matter of fact, when we say AI, this is something that a lot of enthusiasts would like to believe that we have AI, but as a matter of fact, we don't. Because the AI actually, to achieve AI, or to have something that we could really call that this is artificial intelligence, it's going to take us still a very long period of time. So, as a matter of fact, what we have is more like a VI, which is something that kind of simulates AI, but so this is just one of the things, the main differences, something that I wanted to mention. Anyway, so back to our topic, I had this interesting conversation with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT uh, told me. Now, of course, everything I have kind of tested ChatGPT because I know how AI works. I tested ChatGPT and I found some loopholes that were caused by a very common problem with AI, or whatever the algorithm that they have used, where AI could be biased because of the training data it's been provided. And I'm sure maybe if you have ever watched TED channel, TED Talks, and all of this, you may have heard about a problem um, where AI that was created, especially when you're having Zoom meetings, the technology that's used to distinguish the background from yourself, was failing miserably with people of darker, darker skin color, or darker skin pigmentation, and this was caused by the fact that most of the training data that was fed into the solution uh, was mostly related to people of lighter skin color, which caused a lot of which kind of caused some issues where users with lighter skin color had a better experience with these technologies than people with darker skin color, which kind of also caused a bit of backlash because of this. Um, Rightfully, also because I think that if we want a reliable AI, we need to have proper training data that doesn't work only with a certain set of people, or like that should really give everyone equal satisfaction or equal experience. Anyways, to get back to our topic, um, talking about ChatGPT, I have had conversation with ChatGPT. I would say it's pretty good. They did an amazing job of how they made it sound like human. Now, the reason why I'm saying sound like human, not really human, because by the end of the day, there is some algorithm that is just running behind. It's not going out of the blue to be self-conscious. We are not there yet. I have to make it clear, we are not there yet. Many AI experts, including developers who actually have have had some involvement in ChatGPT and similar solutions, said this is still not going to happen, not in the soon future. The amount of training data required to achieve something so advanced would be enormous. It would be so huge. And even with ChatGPT, with all of the resources that they had when it had the funding or the support from big corporations like Microsoft before there was a cutoff in 2021 where it's for some reason it was no longer being supported by Microsoft. They had to work on filters. They had to filter stuff. Now, why they had to do that? Isn't AI supposed to learn on its own? Well, the problem is when you rely on training data that is coming from the web. So becomes the question, what are we actually feeding? What kind of training data are we feeding? So you could feed AI some, just leave it open, no need to filter anything, leave it open, let it receive everything. So basically it will receive whatever is on the internet, whether it's some spam, bot contents that are irrelevant, things that maybe shouldn't be really something that AI should be really concerned about, or something that we aren't really expecting AI to be concerned about, really. So you end up with like the filtering. So you can see, even like whatever we do, there will always be this kind of segmentation where you will have to stop and say, okay, so what do I want AI to show me for this particular segment, or for this thing, or for this thing? It's not a conscious being. It's not. This is why, like, I personally, even without listening to whatever other people said, because I've studied AI myself, I don't think it's going to replace us. This won't happen. It will maybe. AI is extremely useful, and I'll have to admit, yes, it did replace certain kind of jobs that kind of, I would say, things that are manual, but is it going to replace a human? I would say no. It's just going to reduce the number of workers, maybe, but it's not really going to replace the number of humans working in those jobs. So, for instance, you could have a pizza shop where, like, I think that you may even heard about it. There's a pizza shop where you have the robots preparing your pizza, and you just pay with your phone or card or whatever, and you just get the pizza and that's it. Like you don't, there's no human interaction. However, they still need someone to maintain it. They still need someone to look after these things. Uh, it's not. There is no perfect solution. There is no such a thing such as this AI or this robot is going to completely blow us out of our jobs and we are doomed and the Terminators are coming for us or something like. No, no, no. This is not happening. Not soon. ChatGPT itself. When I ask ChatGPT, ChatGPT now again, yeah, like because of the like how the training data are a bit manipulated for ChatGPT, so the developers of ChatGPT they could selectively train the AI to only see a certain amount of things, like to see a certain set of data, but not look at others. So here I will argue that this is maybe a bit manipulated. But when I ask ChatGPT, are you going to replace developers? ChatGPT's response was no. And when I asked ChatGPT, when I went a bit deeper and asked why, ChatGPT said that it cannot have the same sophistication or way of thinking that humans do, especially when it comes to uh, very, like, let's say, problem solving, but it's going to augment what we already do and enable us to do it better. Now, what does that mean? I have myself used ChatGPT a couple of times. Something that is, let's say, I used it on some hobby projects or something that for some research stuff, and I would confirm with good certainty that if I went to search the internet for the information versus asking ChatGPT for the information, I would confirm it would have taken me a bit more time to get the same useful information I got from ChatGPT. So ChatGPT will give, if you think of ChatGPT as a search engine, ChatGPT will give you exactly what you want, uh, slightly way better than a search engine. So this has huge implications. What is the implication here? That means we are going to see people slowly moving away from search engines. Search engines are going to be getting slowly more and more obsolete. We will see Google, like we already know that Google is already declining. Like they are Google, I think within a year or two, they kind of like they declined really sharply. Like even even I was seeing several, let's say I watched several channels and videos that argued how the search engine of Google was getting worse and worse for some reason. Probably also because they laid off a good number of developers. So, despite this huge monolithic company, Google, you still have, it's a search engine that needs to be maintained, lots of complications and stuff like that. So, despite everything, it's not really going to be the best. The problem with search engines is that it's always based on what people typed before. So it could be like, oh, show me the top whatever, show me the top whatever, show me. I need the top 10, I need the top 20. But then when it comes to commercial things, Google becomes like this kind of junky thing where you have these companies that want to promote some product. They're going to manipulate the search engine. You have hundreds of thousands of companies that are working with search engine optimization just to make sure that a product will show up on the search engine. That means um, the whatever algorithm Google have put before, even so they have been updating their algorithm from time to time and trying to improve it and like try to make balance things. It's still like a little shaky, and you could end up with some results that make sense and some things that are manipulated, so you can't really like, it's not the same. It's not the same. But let's not talk about the trust question. Let's talk about ChatGPT. If we take ChatGPT as a search engine, it does way better than Google. That's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong. If you think I'm wrong, please go ahead, write in the comments, tell me what you think. I'll be happy to listen to it. So that's it. That's my end take on ChatGPT. Is ChatGPT going to replace us? Is a Terminator coming for us? Um, this is just my opinion. I'll leave the rest to you. And speaking of AI, if you would like to learn more, if you'd like to learn how to actually write your own natural language processing application, or you would like to develop your own chat application that uses artificial intelligence, or let's say I don't want to call it artificial intelligence, uses something similar in terms of algorithms that you can utilize for your business or as a project you'd like to work on, or if your employer would like to develop something like that and you would like to have a quick yet simple way on how to quickly set it up, and then later on you can optimize it and improve it. Check out my courses in the description, and do not forget to use the coupon code if you'd like really to get a really good discount. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you on the next one. And hasta la vista.